Don't allow the other option of war and destruction and taking away lives, especially of children and women. Peace saves lives. War takes lives. Act. Choose peace. We, Palestine and Arab countries, are acting responsibly and with resolve to end this conflict once and for all.
Can anyone tell me what they're actually doing, though? What are you really doing that you're acting responsibly and with resolve? Right? I mean, remember, this is for a Western audience, right? And for a Western audience, the way you act responsibly is that you allow the West to continue killing you, and you simply continuously ask them to please not do it. Remember, the West only supported Indian independence because India did not really fight back. India just allowed the West to kill them. The West largely supported the Black Rights Movement back in the 1960s under Martin Luther King. Why? Because it was a march of peace. The West has shown time and time again that the only proper, or I guess the only, quote, responsible response to them killing you is to just continuously, politely ask them to stop, and to, more importantly, to continue to let them kill you. Because if you don't let them kill you, if you fight back at all, you're not being responsible. So this is infuriating to watch, because what does he mean by responsibly and with resolve? He means by going to the United Nations, putting forward motions that are usually a complete waste of time because the United States vetoes them anyway, and largely just trying to put a bad PR for Israel. Now that's starting to work, and maybe in the long run that will work. But in the meantime, we're getting thousands upon thousands of people dying while these guys continue to give speeches, while the Arab League of Arab nations does nothing. Saudi Arabia continues to have trade deals with Israel. Jordan continues to have deals with Israel. There's not a single missile or any kind of strategic action taken. This is genocide. You're telling me you can't militarily get involved for genocide? And it's a combination of reasons. One, it's fear, because they don't want to have sanctions placed on them and they don't want to potentially be attacked back. And two, it's quite frankly, it's just selling out. That's what it is. Everything this guy says, everything that comes out of this guy's mouth is actually infuriating for me, because although I know that it's better than nothing, it's infuriating, especially when he uses words like, we're acting responsibly. What do you mean you're acting responsibly? Is Israel acting responsibly as it continues to kill civilians?
We are acting responsibly and with resolve to end this conflict once and for all. We will spare no effort, and we need all the help we can get. Help us. Act. We want peace. We have a plan. We have an alternative.
He's trying to reach out to a bunch of member states in the United Nations that have zero souls. It's as if he's reaching, like, the way he's pleading right now, he's acting as if these people care about doing the right thing. They don't care about doing the right thing. They're all here for their own political interests. And they know that if they were to ever try and do the right thing, there would be consequences in the form of economic consequences by the United States, sanctions, stuff like that, canceling trade deals, but maybe other consequences.
We have options. It is crystal clear. Help us. Act with us. To make peace is the option of the world, and make war not acceptable and need to be stopped.
Because the United States is backing Israel in its genocide, I mean, it's a little sad to watch. I mean, you almost feel sorry for this guy. He's pleading because that's all he can do. He's literally just begging for help because that's all he can do. He can't really do anything. The Arab nations themselves are not going to do anything in Palestine. You're telling me Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Jordan can't place some kind of pressure on Israel and the United States? No, they choose not to. So the Arab League itself is a waste of time. But the way this guy is pleading to these other countries is sad to watch, because this is a man in desperation. This is a man who knows he has no real hand to play here. He is at the mercy of the oppressor.
And ceasefire to prevail. This starts with supporting the Arab plan for reconstruction, which many of you refer to, supporting the Palestinian government's assumption of its responsibilities throughout the occupied Palestinian territory, the deployment of a UN-mandated mission throughout the occupied Palestinian territory, achieving a complete, comprehensive, and permanent ceasefire, and supporting an end of the occupation, Palestinian independence, implementing the two-state solution, and achieving shared peace.
He's just regurgitating and repeating what they've been saying for decades. The entire world, at least publicly, they support a two-state solution, while Israel continues to annex more land and kill Palestinians. So this guy's response is basically mute, like it's meaningless. He's just regurgitating what's already been said for the last 60 years, I guess.
And security. This is a historical moment where everyone must choose where they stand.
This is a historical moment. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's been many historical moments over the decades, and people continuously choose where to stand. It's no secret that these nations have been supporting Israel's occupation and genocide against Palestinians and ethnic cleansing for decades.
And what vision they want to see prevail. The next few days are decisive and can either set us on the right path or the wrong one, with huge implications for the region and the world. Help us in these few days to have the ceasefire in place, not the continuation of war. Life must prevail.
All right, we're going to stop it there. One thing that I'm going to mention as well as include is that for many of you, you're probably aware of the conversation that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin had. And among that conversation for the ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia, one of the conditions that the United States actually requested or placed on Russia was that Iran in the Middle East never be in a position where they can, quote, destroy Israel. That's what he said. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up and the reason why it's important in relation to this is because if you're ever wondering, well, why? Why is it that the neighboring countries surrounding Palestine and Israel, why is it that they're complacent? Why is it that the League of Arabs, that they're complacent? It's because of that. It's because the United States ensures in its foreign policy that Israel is always included somehow. Even in its negotiations with Russia and Ukraine, the United States is thinking about Israel. The United States is ensuring that there is no avenue that, the resistance against Israel can seek to begin to even the odds at all. In order to ensure a peace talk, or rather to ensure peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, Russia must comply with the genocide against Palestinians, with the Israeli genocide of Palestinian people. That's how bad it is. That's how much protection the United States provides Israel. That even in a completely unrelated matter like Ukraine and Russia, the United States still finds a way to ensure that Israel benefits from that negotiation somehow. So everything this guy is saying, I mean, it fills me with some frustration, but I also feel somewhat guilty about that, because I can only imagine how he must feel. This is a Palestinian guy in the United Nations, the representative of Palestine in the United Nations, who has probably seen this again and again, and he's begging. That's really what he's doing. He's pleading with the United Nations to help, and he knows they're not going to. But he has to maintain a level of composure, right? There's more responsibility on his shoulders than, of course, are on my shoulders. So he has to maintain some level of composure. So as frustrated as I am watching this guy talk, And hearing him basically just expose with his own words just how helpless the situation is, that they have no recourse, that they have to beg the oppressor. As frustrating as that is, I can only imagine just how frustrated this guy is, how frustrated the Palestinian people are, and just how bleak the situation is in Palestine. I mean, when you're watching these videos, right, on the right here, I mean, these are all bodies, and these are people who are, obviously the surviving members of their family, children dying. It's really horrible to watch. Like, these are just bodies here, covered in blankets. 400 people have died in this latest attack, all of them civilians, obviously. And what does Israel do? Israel just says, "Oh, we had no choice. We're trying to attack Hamas. And in the meantime, we're going to kill every single Palestinian we can in Gaza." That's horrible. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to decide what you want to support. So if you're someone who supports Israel, understand you have blood on your hands. Just don't pretend like, "Oh, I didn't know in the end." You're a monster if you support Israel.